Hi friends, my name is Alexander and I am a veteran from the Navy. Wish you all a very happy Indian Navy Day 2022. Once again, I am meeting you after exactly 1 year. Today, I want to share the experience of transition from the military life to the corporate. After spending few years in the Indian Navy and seafaring, we were always told that we, the men in uniform, were always the best of the best. I actually believed the hype and I left the Navy and the seafaring after spending about 2 decades of service. When I started looking for green pastures in the corporate, I had no understanding of what lay ahead in life in the world. I learned the ropes the hard way after struggling for 1 or 2 years trying to wade through the corporate jungle. Though we were always reminded that the men from the forces were the best, the truth is that most of us don't have the skills to make a smooth transition to the civil street or corporate life, except landing as a security officer. Firstly, let me say that ex-military personnel or a veteran has a lot going for him in terms of skills, attitude, and ethos that he has to offer to the corporate world. Typically, he would be an asset to almost any organization. Most companies should ideally be grabbing people from the armed forces off the street with both hands, keeping in mind discipline, punctuality, capacity to withstand difficult situations, commitment, integrity, loyalty, flexibility, managing risk, dealing with stress, navigating different cultural narratives are few traits of a typical veteran. But what most military people transiting to the corporate world don't realize is this: military folks and the civilians often speak two different languages and communicate on different planes. The armed forces pride themselves on a very rigid code of conduct and high values, and almost every action draws on these values in the military. In the corporate world, business culture drives the ethos, profits, cost reductions, branding, marketing, relationship, and networking. There is a bound to be friction when an environment that sustains on loyalty and obedience interacts with the world where relationship and interactions drive everything. Now, what are the challenges faced by the veteran in making a smooth transition to the corporate world? Number one, no direction. Veterans lack clarity on what industry they would like to work and in what kind of jobs they prefer. Often, the roles they select are a complete mismatch to their desires, ambitions, and skills. They finally land as a security officer, a security supervisor, and sometimes as a security guard in the backs. Number two, lack of proper guidance. The military resettlement support, counseling, and mentoring that is provided to the transition of veterans is often inadequate, and it is not designed according to the present corporate scenario. Number three, translating military skills. Deciphering acronyms, complex experiences, hierarchies, cultures into civil term is very important in finding good jobs and achieving success in the corporate world. Number four is negative stereotype. Many companies believe that the discipline and rigor of a military experience is actually a downside. Many believe that veterans are too rigid, too structured to function efficiently in a corporate setting. They think that the military culture is sometimes in conflict with the corporate culture and environment. Number five, lack of self branding. Most veterans lack the skill or are too humble to do this well. The military culture is typically a groupthink culture. It is about underplaying individual achievements. It's always we before I. This is very different from the civilian mindset when individual preservation prevails. In some interviews, veterans often hesitate to use the first person I. Accomplishments are typically attributed to the term we. Number six, specialization. Most military people pride in their specialized skills like the sniper, air crew diver, a navigator's yeoman, a boat coxswain, a cyber security expert, etc. They often don't understand that businesses and companies are relatively less structured and they don't know anything about the specializations what you had in the military. You might need a six-man crew with specialized individual skills to operate a AK-230 gun in a destroyer of the Indian Navy. But in the corporate world, it is very different. Some corporate roles may involve being part of a team or managing and leading teams of projects relating to security, training, real estate, design, construction, operations, marketing, sales, hiring, finance, and corporate law. So many things structured together. Now, what do I say to my fellow veterans? There are a host of things you can do to make your transition to the corporate world smooth. Number one, translating skills. Learn to connect the dots. Translate your skills into the corporate language. Conducting a small arms training or a squad drill is not just about you having training skills. It's also about leadership, eye for details, diligence, and discipline. Number two, personal branding. Learn the art of articulating your experience and traits. You must be able to confidently and concisely explain how and why your experiences and relevant skills and talents that you have to offer are relevant to the company and the role that you are applying for. Number three, networking. Make friends in the corporate world. Don't restrict yourself to veterans whom you already know. Connect with successful veterans in different industries, doing different things. Connect and follow industry leaders on social media, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube, etc. Attend seminars, watch videos, and learn the corporate jargon and the ROI, that is rate of line, OPEX, operation expense, CAPEX, capital expense, etc. These are some of the names you will understand when you come into the corporate world. Find a mentor or guide who can help you navigate through the things you don't understand. Now, what can a corporate company and veterans do to make the transition successful? For companies, I would say, first of all, leaders, HR heads must realize the inherent positive traits and strengths that veterans bring to the team and the corporate culture. The logic for hiring a veteran is plain and simple. Veterans are trained and skilled to achieve success against all odds. Number one, train the recruiters. Understand that veterans come from a vastly divergent background. When a veteran answers with a we rather than I, don't perceive that as being evasive. Take feedback from the veteran on the hiring. Include existing employees, a veteran employee in the process. Once again, I wish you all a very happy Indian Navy Day on this 4th December 2022. Jai Hind!